All right, what's up, everybody, and welcome back to Trade with Me. Thank you for coming back, and I am back. So today we're going to take a deep dive into the DNN Mining earnings report. It came out last week, but I wasn't feeling well, so I didn't have time to really do a full deep dive. But I went back today, I took a look, and I think we're going to be pretty stoked about what we find. So if this is your first video looking at my videos, I like to do the research. I like to take a look at the stocks. I'm going to do research the stocks anyway, so why don't you watch my research, hear my research, and if you like it, please subscribe and trade with me. So, taking a look at DNN Mines, if you haven't heard of them before, they're a corporate company. They're based out of Canada, and they own tons and tons of uranium mines. My previous video, we did a video on this about 3 weeks ago, I suppose, and it was trading at about $1. So I saw some huge potential in this company, and I think it's already paid off. Now, I'm not saying this company's done. I think there is so much room to grow, but just as a reminder, it is a mining company, mostly based on uranium, and they have some actual awesome technology that other companies simply don't have. How big are they? They are a huge sector. They own all of these mines. Some of these mines are active, some of them are not. And today we're going to mostly talk about the Wheeler mine because that's what they mostly talk about in their earnings report from last week. So is uranium the future? Is it important? Yes, it's actually way cleaner than solar. It has a much smaller carbon footprint. It's used for nuclear fuels in home use, submarines. It's greener than the solar energy, and our good man Bill Gates is totally behind it. Bill Gates has his own company called TerraPower. He's not associated with DNN Mining, but they do have a partnership, and TerraPower is supposedly finally going to be popping up this year. They have these cool battery systems. If you want to hear more about that, there's a previous video about DNN that you can take a look at TerraPower and stuff like that. TerraPower. Institutions are buying in as of February. We had tons and tons of buy-in, mostly at around $1 a share with the option of exercising it again for $2 a share. So that means that this company is easily going to $2 in the near future. Otherwise, they would not agree to sell their shares at such a high price. I mean, I don't know what kind of math they do in Canada, but that wouldn't make sense, right? Right. So how did earnings go? DNN reports a year of significant project company de-risking. This was the headline everybody latched onto. So many bearish posts, oh, they de-risked, whoop-de-doo. They definitely did de-risk, and it's a pretty big deal. This company paid off all of its debt. They have zero debt. They have nothing pulling them down, nothing weighing them down, and nothing but profits in their future. Now, they paid off this debt through offerings. They've finished an offering, I think, on March 4th or something like that, where they raised some more capital. But for the most part, they are completely remaining debt-free. Taken together, DNN is uniquely positioned as a well-capitalized uranium developer with low-cost assets at a time when the uranium market showing signs of improvement. So, I spoke about their new technology a while ago, ISR Mining. ISR Mining, what it is, it seems very similar to fracking to me, but it's a cleaner way of mining uranium, and it is not just a new way of mining uranium. It is a new way of mining uranium at a lower cost and getting uranium that was otherwise considered unminable, either too deep or too difficult to get to, costing too much money, it wouldn't pay off, that they can now finally mine this uranium. And DNN owns a bunch of mines that were already considered done, already considered ready to be moved on from, and now they can go back and look at the deposits that are left over and say, well, maybe there's still some money to be made in these mines. So they talk about significant breakthroughs in ISR mining, including the adoption of a freeze wall, which will be more environmentally safe, a lot more less risky to mine with. They have lower costs to extract the uranium using the freeze wall, and they're basically saying in their report that they're focusing on extracting the world's highest grade underdeveloped uranium that's at the Phoenix mine, which they own. Not bad. More potential. They have another mine previously considered unminable due to the cost of extraction, and it's now completely profitable with using ISR mining at about $25 a pound. The average price of uranium purchased per pound in 2019 was $35 a pound, and it's only going up. So not only are they finding new ways to mine uranium, they are finding new areas from the assets they already own to mine their uranium, and now they're looking back at their previous reports and finding just new ways, new money, and more money equals more profit, more profit, more profit to the shareholders. The Wheeler River Mine, they wrote a whole page about the Wheeler River Mine. If you don't know where it is, I don't live in Canada, but it's right over here by the Athabasca Basin. It's surrounded by their other 3 mines. These 4 mines are considered to be done. Probably not anymore with ISR, but they're focusing on the Wheeler River Mine. And because their 2018 prospectus says this mine has a potential to produce 109 million pounds of uranium. The mine is expected to operate for the next 14 years, so that was 2018. We're on year number 3, and it's expected to produce about $1.31 billion in revenue. They're assuming in 2018 that their operating costs would be $3.33 per pound of uranium. If you factor in the ISR mining techniques, that cost is going to be significantly lower. So I see a very bright future for the Wheeler River Mine. They also say that in their prospectus and all that, but I just figured it's worth mentioning. So the Wheeler River, the Waterbury, which they own 64% of, they own 90% of the Wheeler, which is why they're mostly concerned with that. But they just have so much potential. It's kind of ridiculous that this stock doesn't get much love from anybody. You might see a little bit on stock twits, but there's really so much potential with this company. Let's take a look at the charts. 3-year chart. Everybody likes to see a chart that looks like that. Last time we talked about this stock, we were here. And I said, maybe we'll wait. And now we're at 129, and it seems like we're holding. The 5-day, 30-minute looks pretty stinking good. We have some nice consolidation, little VWAP maybe. Looking for another breakout, possibly past 130. It seems like 130 is a little bit of resistance for us. We'll break it in pre-market and after hours, but actual trading, there seems to be a lot of push down. And then the 3-day, 5-minute, again, we have that consolidation up here around 128, 131. But guys, remember, 2 weeks ago, I mean, this thing went under $1. Nobody jumped on it. Maybe you did if you were smart, but the uranium didn't change. The mines didn't change. All that changed is just fear in the market. So don't get scared out by all this crazy stuff. And finally, our outlook. We're up 14 cents today. The market's not closed yet. It's like 315-ish. But it seems like we're going to close around 127, 128. We have some massive buys in the past week. You see right here these 2 huge green candles followed by a little bit of a red one. Kind of sucks. But what I really like to see is if you look at the 50-day and the 20-day, we're starting to see some major separation of those 2 lines, which usually means that we are starting to get a breakout, right? We're trending in the right direction. It'd be absolutely gorgeous if they could cross over, but we could dream, right? And finally, we have some great news, a great catalyst coming up in a week. They're going to get added to the S&P 500, an absolute killer stock. It's pretty cool to see that they're going to be involved, and I only see it going up from here. So if you like this video, please subscribe, leave a comment, give it a like, check out my other videos. Thanks for watching. If you want any more videos or you want me to take a look at another stock, I'm happy to do so. Thank you for subscribing, watching, and please come back for more. Trade with me.